So, alright, sorry about that. I had to reboot. This is being a pain in the ass. Right. Share that out. There we go. Perfect. I'll put myself on Facebook too. Oh, oops. Have a look. Can I put myself on Facebook? I'll just make sure everything's working, but let's see what my Facebook stream looks like. There we go. I'll just make sure everything. 720p. Alright, cool. That works. Yippee! Yay! Right, so that actually works. That's great.
Crap! Get out that ride, homie! Damn.
Let me just go and check. I want to see how that's pies. How those pies are doing. Alright. Okay. Sorry, I was just double checking to see where those pies were. A couple of chicken, they curry chicken pies. I just want to make sure that, we'll see if they were cooked. But they weren't. In any case, I didn't expect them to be cooked for a while anyway. And then periodically check them. Dreaming, I'm dreaming life away. Da 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 da. Dream, 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 dream. Dream, dream, dream. All I wanna do is dream. Dream, 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 dream. All I wanna do is dream. Dream, 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 dream. Alright. It's pretty crazy though. I mean, some of the stuff I've seen people. Well, I don't know. This is just as typical of most people these days. I think it's just the fact that most people don't care about anything but themselves. I try to care about more than one person. I mean, I try to care about people. My problem is sometimes I'll let people get away with shit, and I shouldn't let them get away with it. That's another issue I find too. Plus, I always try to look for the good in people. That's another issue I think I have as well. It's going to happen from time to time, though, unfortunately. I mean, it's a sad thing that happens, but too often these days, you can have situations where, I don't know. Sorry, I'm going to do a bit of a talk show at the moment. I mean, I've got that there. Just pause that. I'm just going to do a bit of a talk show mode. But you know, like as I said, it's kind of sad these days, but you let people get away with certain things, and that's the problem. I think that's inherently the problem we as a society seem to place on ourselves, is that you let people get away with certain things, and the problem with people getting away with that stuff is that, you know, in your mind you'll justify them getting away with it, you know, to a certain extent, but I don't know. I've always been one of those people that I guess to some extent, you know, you reap what you sow to some extent. But I mean, I've always been an advocate against bullying. I've always been an advocate against suicide or anything of that nature. Anything along those lines, to be honest. Yeah, I don't condone that shit, and I never will, because I know what it's I know what it's like to deal with certain mental illnesses myself. And honestly, as I said, it's hard these days, you know. There's so much judgment placed on this stuff, and it's not just that, judgment by society, judgment by people in general. You know, it's particularly whether it's random. Oh, you got random people on the internet. There's that factor, but you've also got random people in your life too. You know, that's such a factor, like so badly that you think, what the fuck, you know? You're just trying to live your life, and it seems like people, you know, well, it seems like sometimes people are always putting shit on you when you least expect it. Anyway, I don't know. That's just something I've concluded, but either way, I guess. Excuse me. But I mean, each to their own. I guess I'm not going to judge anybody too harshly, I guess. Sorry, I'm just talking to a couple of people. It's interesting though the conversations you get into people with on the internet. I mean, sometimes it can be a positive. It depends on the person you're talking to, too. Some people try to fuel the negative emotions in you, and some people try to fuel the positive ones. And that's the thing. It's such a mixed bag of people that you get on the internet that it doesn't matter. I mean, it's all different types. That's my point. So you're gonna get some people who are negative. You're gonna get some people who aren't, and that's the truth, you know. I've concluded in the long run that sometimes there's just some people who are naturally assholes. They, you know, they'll either try to egg you on to do something stupid, or they'll try to make you feel a particular way. I mean, the other side of it is too that some people are just immature, like totally immature, like just there's no maturity to them whatsoever. I've met some women like that. I've met some guys like that too. See, this is my point. It's all vastly different, but that's my point here. I've concluded that each individual thing that you come across on the internet is always down to that. It's how mature somebody is to handle a situation. Sometimes it's whether, you know, you feel somebody can take constructive criticism or negative feedback, you know. I don't know. That's just something I've concluded, you know. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, I guess, but the other side of it too is you see some people, you're looking just like, what the fuck, you know? Like, just, as I said, it's some people's attitude towards things. I think that's probably the most thing that affects people. And, you know, affects how they think, affects how they deal with their things in their life, you know, all that stuff. And that's the problem. When you get somebody who's got a really negative attitude towards something, or people in general, or even women for example, that's all they see is negativity, and they don't see anything but the negativity. It's such an unfortunate side effect of society, I guess, you know, like, just in the long run, like, just the way, yeah, particularly with the internet associated things. You know, real life, it just depends on the person. Like, the other side of it too is if you're getting a bit drunk or something, like with a person, everybody's attitude changes when, you know, when somebody's had a couple of drinks, their attitude changes. Sometimes even their behaviour changes in some cases. The other side of it too is most people are guilty of doing something stupid while they've been drunk or fairly intoxicated, you know. And that's the thing, you've got to be able to step back and think, okay, hold on a second, you know, maybe I shouldn't do this. But it's hard sometimes, especially if you feel a certain degree of peer pressure, and that can be a bit of an issue too. Even on the internet, for example, I mean, if you want to be in the cool crowd sort of thing, or if you want to be in some type of cool crowd or something like that, that's the thing, it can be a bit of an issue to want to be with that crowd, or those types of people, and I think that's probably just the thing that gets me the most, you know, is that there seems to be this opinion, you know, that when it comes to stuff that affects you on the internet or doesn't affect you, it's all different. I mean, I think some people are more affected than others, obviously. I mean, put it this way. Social experiments in context, right? And that's always something I've concluded myself. Social experiments can be beneficial sometimes, not always, but sometimes. In some situations they can be beneficial. In other situations not so much, because they can lead you to doing something that you wouldn't normally do. Now that's probably happened to me with this last trial though. It was a trial, but it was also an experiment to prove a point. And I did prove a point anyway. That's beside the point anyway. That's my point. I proved my point, but at the same time, aside from proving my points, I didn't just prove my point. I probably went overboard proving my point. That's the point I'm trying to make. And that's the reason I'm sort of, you know, like, what the hell? Why did I go so far? And that's the thing. When you go overboard, sometimes you don't realise you're going to go. That's the thing. I think that's the problem. Even with society these days. Well, I was watching something before. That's what I was watching. What was it? It was not a documentary. It was The thing on no, it was an article. That was it. It was an article that I was reading, and the article basically said, or the article went on the premise of, the premise of the article, pretty much in context, was somebody decided to do a stunt for YouTube, and what they ended up actually doing is shooting their partner in the chest, because apparently they tried to use a book to stop a bullet, which is kind of, well, that's, you know, retard territory right there. Like, why would you use a book to stop a bullet? That's just stupid. Like, you know, you want at least a few inches of Kevlar or something between you and a bloody bullet. Like, I'm sorry, but common sense dictates that you don't use a fucking book to stop a bullet. I'm sorry, that's just, I don't know. I don't know how somebody can turn around and say, it's like, oh, I shot my boyfriend accidentally. Oh, he's dead. Oh, shit. You know, I shot my boyfriend, but apparently it's because I wanted to do a stunt for YouTube. The stunt was too extreme, obviously. I mean, I'll be the first to admit that going too extreme with something is probably not a good idea. You should weigh up the pros and cons and the risks before you do anything like that. I mean, that's just, I don't know, that should be a general rule with any stuff like that. And the truth is, the problem is, I think some people don't. They just don't weigh up those costs. Those costs of something happening or not happening, and that's the truth, you know. We live in a society where some people don't take into account the risks, of course. But you know, that's society. Sometimes society's a bit stupid with the way it deals with some things, and not so bad with others, of course. But yeah, I mean, that's the point I'm trying to make. We're living in a society where it's now normal that somebody actually attempted to try and do a shooting stunt, and they shot their significant other. But they shot their significant other in the sense they wanted to get more. I get you want to get more views, but that's, firstly, you were using a book to block the bullet. That's just not smart. Like, anybody will tell you that's just stupid. You shouldn't use a book to. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's just ridiculous. I'm yet to understand that. How can you use a book of all things to block a bullet? No, that doesn't even make sense to me. I'm sorry, no, that doesn't even make sense to me. No, it doesn't make sense. No sense whatsoever. I will be honest. It's just, like, there's no sense in that whatsoever. Like, there's just retardation in it, pretty much. I mean, that's not even retardation. Even somebody who's a little bit mentally handicapped would have enough sense, or you would think they would have enough sense not to do something as stupid as that. I hate to say it, but as I said, it's the gene pool, or some parts of the gene pool anyway. I don't think it's the entirety of it. Let me just go and check those pies. Make sure I don't forget them. Cooked through. Not liking that so far. But yeah, I'm yet to understand that, really. I'm yet to understand how somebody could do that. Like, I'm kind of... I'm kind of like, you know, elementary, my dear Watson. What the fuck was going on in their head when they decided to do that? Like, even getting drunk or stoned, for that matter, a little bit of judgment's got to come in if something's really dangerous. Like, yeah, I'm kind of like, And that's the thing. I don't think judgment came into that, I'll be honest. That's the truth. I don't think the judgment came in at all. Like I said, life, you've got to have a certain degree of positive vibes in you. Otherwise, people will drag you down with them. If they want to bring you down in a negative sense, they will do it pretty badly. And that's the thing. They will. I mean, that's the truth. Somebody will bring you down negatively. If they can find a way of doing that to you, or making you feel a particular way, they will. They honestly will. They actually will. They will kick you. Either they try to kick you in the guts with them emotionally, or they'll try to make you feel guilty, or they try to manipulate you into doing something you don't want to do. And unfortunately, if you're in a depends on, some people are different, you know. I do notice, though, with people who have a couple of drinks, they might be more receptive, or in a more receptive frame of mind, to be able to do certain things that they wouldn't normally do when they're sober. And you definitely do notice it, that's my point. You definitely do notice the effects of, whether it's alcohol, well, mostly alcohol, really. Alcohol will sometimes push your inhibition levels. Sorry, it'll lower your inhibition levels, so you might, normally you wouldn't do something, but, you know, you might be inclined to do it if you really drunk off your freaking ass. That's another thing too. I think to a certain degree, drinking to a certain point is okay too. Drinking to a point where you've just had enough, you've just had a certain degree of, you know, maybe like 2 or 3 cans of something fairly strong, or maybe you've had, like, you know, a few beers, say 6 or 7 beers, 12 at the max, and, you know, after that amount of beers, you get to that point, and, you know, with most of that stuff, I mean, there's drinking to the point where you're intoxicated and you feel buzzed, and there's drinking to the point where you have no control over what you do, which is not always very advisable. I'll be honest, it's not the smartest idea, because normally you end up getting in more trouble in the long run. This is part of the issue anyway. It's actually not bad. It's not a bad pipe, actually. Well, these pipes aren't too bad. I admit I threw a couple of them out because of, just because this blowtorch a little bit high for the temperature, but you know what? I think probably smoking out of a wooden pipe is probably better for you than smoking out of, well, glass isn't too bad, metal isn't too bad, I guess. Depends on what you're smoking out of too, but I don't know, I just like the Sherlock Holmes analogy with this, to be honest. I do need to clean this though, probably. Yeah, I might give it a clean in a little while. In any case. But that's the thing, you know, I think that's the problem. It's too easy to get carried away sometimes when you've had a couple of drinks and there is alcohol involved in the situation. It's easy if you're not careful. And, you know, I hate to say it, but particularly if you're with certain mates, people who encourage bad behaviour, that can be an issue as well, you know. Not always, but it can be. it can be an issue. Sorry, I just want to clean this out. It's always an idea to clean these out. I always do. Just always helps to clean them out. Sorry, it's just hot. I figure it's going to be hot after a certain amount of smoking. Get the bloody thing back on. There we go. Crap, that cracked. Well, that's annoying. Maybe just that one specifically. That crack. Holy shit. That's annoying. Well, it's not too badly cracked. It's only a little bit. It's alright anyway. But yeah, no, look, I mean, that's the thing. It's the annoying part about wood. It tends to break very easily. Not as malleable as glass or wood, glass or steel, or aluminium or whatever. But yeah, no, like as I said, like that's the thing. It's you learn your lesson, I guess, to a certain extent over time, you know, but I've concluded in the long run that when it comes to encouraging bad behaviour, you're more likely to be able to encourage somebody who's drunk to do something stupid. It's pretty much a common rule. Oh, well, it's not too badly cracked. Could be worse. Oh well. Well, it's not even cracked. I mean, it's just a little bit cracked, but I mean, just means it'll pull out a bit easier. That's all. Sherlock, indeed, Sherlock, you motherfucker. Sherlock, my friend, indeed. Don't forget Sherlock, man. He's a good guy. Sherlock Holmes is. I love Sherlock. I do love Sherlock Holmes series, and even the games for that matter. I love Sherlock Holmes as a detective. Logic, concise, accurate, fucking slightly sociopathic, psychopathic personality type. And I mean, not entirely, but you know, in a good way. That's the thing. It's not inherently bad. It's not a negative thing anyway. Dry. So you know what we have to do? But that's the point I'm trying to make anyway. I'll leave that door open because I need to leave that door open anyway. Because the reason I need to leave the door open is because I need to keep a eye on those pies. Oh, it's so funny though, I checked my weight, I'm actually not doing too bad for my weight. So, you know, no complaints there. Just one of those days, I guess. Hold on, let me just turn off. Shit. Oops. There. I need a new fucking chair. That's my problem. I need a new fucking chair. This is my issue. Alright, anyway, back to what I was saying. So, yeah, look, I mean, look. Like, I've seen so many people do stupid shit. I mean, okay, my stuff started from a troll. It was just simply a troll, and I was trying to get back at some trolls. Probably should have knew they would have reacted the way they did, but still. At the end of it, I was a bit inebriated. I'd gone and done a troll, and the troll went too far. Obviously, not just that, but, you know, it was that factor, and, you know, also the fact that I was a bit drunk. That was a contributing factor, and yeah, it was probably a combination of that, to be honest. So, yeah. And, you know, at the end of it, I've concluded that, what's ended up happening with most of this stuff is, well, especially, like, I saw that article about somebody shooting somebody. And I'm like, well, okay, hold on a second. You shot somebody and you expected a book to stop the bullet. Like, that only really happens in movies. I mean, I don't... Yeah, I'd rather trust Kevlar than I would, some type of Kevlar vest or something like that, than I would a book to stop a bullet. Ah, shit, just burnt myself. Ow, wow, 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 wow. Slight burn. This is the reason I hold this way, this way. Oh, fuck, that hurts. Oh, you know, burn is burn. Just a bit of tobacco, always good. Oh, that burns. That really burns, like, ow. It wasn't too bad though, I took it off just before that, so... Ironically, I didn't burn myself on the pie, I burnt myself on my freaking gas lighter. All the freaking things am I burning myself on? Well, no, yeah, makes sense for me. Like, what the fuck do you do? I burn myself. Oh, that really... Oh, it's starting to sting there. Sting. It'll go away eventually. Like, the pain goes away. Most of the time I've burnt myself a few times on and off, but not badly. Well, never really badly anyway. It's weird though. Like, I've had a couple of wines, and it's like, what the hell? Like, it's kind of weird. I've had a couple of wines, and ironically, I've actually lit a freaking thing better after a couple of wines or something like that, then when I'm not. It's fucking stupid, but The old pipe tobacco. Well, not pipe tobacco. I should see if I can actually get some pipe tobacco. This is not really designed for a pipe. It's what is it? It's just the pouch stuff you get for rollies, basically. So leave that cool for a bit. Oh man, that hurts. That's gonna hurt. It's gonna come up probably in a little blister tomorrow. Wasn't too bad though. It was like 2 seconds worth of heat. It's still a fair amount of heat that those torches produce. Oh, it's alright. I'll just run under some cold water or something, or whack something on it. Actually, I've got some burn ointment somewhere. That's what I should get, is burn ointment. I mean, even working on computers, occasionally you're gonna get it. Occasionally you're gonna get a freaking electrical burn from time to time. It's not as if it's always bad. It's just frustrating. Oh. It's just frustrating when you get it. It's just ironic and frustrating. Jesus, that's really hurt. So yeah. So there's a quick little action when using a pipe. Indubitably, my dear Watson. Indubitably. Oh, it really hurts. That's the thing about pipes. It's taking little bits and pieces. I'm gonna go wash that. Just in case. Oh. So yeah, I'm cooking a couple of pies for dinner. Huh. Think about it. You don't feel it at first, but when you know, I mean, I've burned myself a couple of times on and off, but I've probably had a couple of drinks in me, so I haven't felt it as much. But you do feel it, depending on the situation, of course. The thing is that I don't drink all the time. That's the weird part. It depends. It depends on when I can afford alcohol, because you know alcohol's not cheap. Well, most of the time. I mean, you can get it fairly cheap, but it's not that bad in price. But it can be depending on the alcohol you want. If you want spirits, like proper spirits, like a can of spirits or something like that, that's not always cheap. But yeah, depends on the person, I guess. I think I know what it was. It's on the outside. It's probably outside, that's what it was. So I've got one window open. You hear people getting in and out of their cars at night sometimes. Ah, fuck that song. Ow. I'm waiting for these pies to cook at the moment. I know one of them seems to be cooked anyway. I might take that one out, let it cool on a plate for a bit, and then I'll maybe leave the other one in there a bit longer. Fuck that is. Life is a fine line between pleasure and fucking pain. That's the problem. It's the truth I've figured of life anyway so far. Normally after a while it stops hurting, but I just get something cold from my finger. There we go. That's more like it. I just got something cold here, so I can intermittently put it on my finger. This is a salmon, apparently. Because it's burnt the skin. Well, it doesn't. I don't think it burnt for this dessert. It's not much anyway. Ah. Leave that there for a second. Driving along my automobile with no particular place to go. Curiosity around my That's the thing though, I mean, especially these days, it can be so easy to fall into a trap of it can be so easy to fall into a trap of wanting to keeping up appearances, you know, wanting to be the latest and greatest, The other thing too can be a bit of peer pressure things, but sometimes I generally get interested in stuff because you know, sometimes I buy some. I mean, occasionally I buy things, you know, because I'm interested in them. Some things I didn't buy. My niece bought this fidget spinner thing. I didn't. I probably wanted to purchase one myself, but this is here it is, as you can see. And I mean, I didn't buy it, so it doesn't really. I don't have no regrets having it. But these fidget spinner things. I don't know, I mean, there's always some latest and greatest fad, you know. But when it comes to PC stuff, I mean, most people who just use a PC for office work only really need something that's going to be able to do basically anything office related. So you don't need a massively expensive computer. But if you're buying a bunch of computers, say for example servers, large end servers to do a network or something like that, then you're going to need something fairly relatively powerful. Then, you know, the other side of it too is, if you're on a budget too, as I said, I get with some people these days, if somebody's on a budget with it when it comes to tech stuff, you know, like, you can't afford to spend a heap on something. I get that. Oh, jeez. It stings. More of these fake fucking accounts. It does surprise me, like, these accounts are obviously fake. I know they're fake. I just add them to see what they'll do. And I mean, to be honest, there's not much that they can really do. I've blocked off my friends list, so they can't see who's on my friends list. So they can't spam my friends, you know what I mean? That's a plus side, which is good. I blocked that off now because I was finding that they were spamming my friends and that was becoming an issue. So I blocked my friends list off so they can't see what's on my friends list. I can just add them randomly and see if they actually say anything to me or interact with me. I'm curious half the time with some of these scammers because they can be quite screwy the way they handle things. Oh, run along in the automobile. But yeah, it can be a little bit frustrating, I guess. There we go. Come back to life, it seems. That's frustrating. That's frustrating when you burn yourself. But yeah, it's all good. It's all fun and games till somebody loses a Chinese Chinaman. Chinese Chinaman? A Chinaman. Once knew a man named Michael Finnegan, not by the hair of his chin-chin-chinnigan. Once knew a man named Michael Finnegan. Michael Finnegan. 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 Fin. Oh, bring back my fin to me. Or bring back my fin to the ocean. Oh, fin. Oh, bring back my fin to me. Bring back, oh, bring back my fin to me. That's stingy a bit. I don't know. Positive and negative. There's always going to be people like that in life. The key point is to learn to ignore them. Have enough maturity to ignore them. That's something that I always find is a big thing. Like, it's not as... I'm finding certain segments of the population, like not all every male, but some males are really immature about how they handle things, you know? I mean, I have my immature moments, I won't deny that, but some people are really immature about everything they do and the way they handle it all, you know? What the fuck? That's sort of the question I have to ask, you know, like, what's going on in people's minds that they have to be mature about every situation in their life, you know? Not just that, but what's going on in society? That is society changing as much as it does, or it's just life. It's life. It's bullshit. It's Sometimes it's the good shit, sometimes it's the bad shit. All depends on the person, really. Oh, that really stings. I'm gonna be sitting here for like half an hour, fucking. Anyway. Oh, there's the other side of it too. Sometimes it's just, you know. Sometimes it's okay to it's good to drink in moderation though. Have a couple of drinks, relax, whether it's a couple of beers or, you know, a couple of say for example Jack Daniels or vodka or apple ciders or something like that. You know, something of that nature. It's okay to have those, a couple of those from time to time. You know, it won't kill you, but sometimes taking a break from it's okay too. I mean, it's okay to take a break from alcohol and not drink. But the other side of it too is if you're going to have a drink, at least try not to have an excessive amount. That's the lesson I've learned. Try not to have an excessive amount. Try not to have way too much. That's when normally the problems start. It's okay to have a couple of glasses of wine, you know, or whatever, and, you know, a few beers. Yeah, right, go ahead, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not going to kill you, but, well, depending on how healthy your body is, it might kill you, but it stinks. See, that's water. There's actually a burger joint that I figured out is quite nice down the road. They're down in Casey. It's not that far from me. They're a nice burger joint because they're really thick patties. Like, they're really, really, really thick. And they're nice hamburgers in general. I tried one before and I really liked them. The way they sort of steam them, like steam the patty sort of thing. So they're actually not that bad. There's a fine line between pleasure and pain these days. Anything that is. Well, anything is, really. You learn your lesson, I guess, over time. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Life is but a crocodile. Don't forget to scream. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Oh, but yet I long for you in Jupiter and Mars. In other words, to thy known self be true. I do love. I do love it. I love it all. I love it with a panda. You know, all that panda crap and everything else. Oh, really feel it, but oh, that hurts. Ow, ow, ow. Where did I put? Oh, put down beside me, didn't I? No. Where did I put? Oh, it's right in front of me. Blinds are bad. Alright. Hold on, bro. leaving those to cool for a bit because they are fairly hot. So that's to be expected. Wouldn't feel this if I had an alcohol beverage. Not completely. Anyway, all good. One moment. I'll be with you. Yep, that's better. But yeah, just waiting for those pies to cool. So I have got a couple of pies on cook at the moment. Well, sorry, I had cooked them, they're cooked. I'm waiting for them to cool a bit, that's all. It's a fine line between pleasure and pain, diversity and life in truth again. It's a fine, fine line between pleasure and pain, apparently. Did sleep pretty well last, considering that I got to bed fairly late, but I slept in for a few hours, so. Sorry, just hurting with buggery. You know, sometimes we all get depressed, we all have down days, we all have our bad days. The key is to try and find positivity in most situations if you can help it. Even in a negative situation, try to find some degree of positivity, whether it's blocking that person out or whether it's temporarily blocking them out, or, you know, whether it's other things that you might want to fix in your life, you know, or maybe it's a life adjustment that you need to make. That's the thing. Freaking chair is shitting me. And that's the thing, I think once you find that peace, that sense of inner peace, you'll feel a lot better about yourself and you'll just feel a lot better in general. You know, like you will generally feel a lot better. Inner peace is probably the key to life, to be honest. That's my experience so far anyway. You have to find some degree of inner peace. If you don't, fuck, you know, you're pretty much... Well, either that or you might even turn to be bitter in some situations, you know? Oh, that hurts. It's possible to turn bitter. It's possible to feel bitter too. It's very easy. It's very easy to feel bitter. Particularly if you feel you were wronged. It's easy to feel bitter in that situation. To be honest, I'm going to be going and seeing a therapist every so often, because I think it's good for my health, you know, in general. I mean, haven't had to see a therapist or anything like that for like freaking near on 11 years, and to be honest, you know, I think it's good because with therapy, it can help you explore yourself a little bit too. What you don't like and what you do like, you know. And that's not a bad thing. Self-exploration is great for the mind and the body. Meditation is a key point too. I mean, not just that, I mean, well, being able to meditate is one thing, but being able to clear your mind of all the conscious shit that goes on, you know, whether it's the good and bad shit that happens to you in your life. Being able to examine that under a microscope and see it for what it is, you know, whether it's an emotionally charged situation or not, and understanding it better is always key. And I think it's just smart. Well, at least you know, there's some people who probably, maybe there's some people who disagree with me, I don't know. I'm probably going to say there's going to be a few people that might disagree with me, you know, their attitude towards it or how it is. Pretty good. And that's the thing, you know, if you can't find yourself emotionally, or you don't know where you are emotionally, how can you truly understand yourself and people around you? Sometimes your opinions can get jaded simply because you're feeling a particular emotion about something. You know, like, say there's a negative situation happening in your life and you feel really shitty about it. If you've got that negative attitude around other people, it's going to reflect back on them, and that's going to, it's going to get inherently into them in some way. But not just that. Say a person makes you feel negative, that's going to reflect back on them at the end of it. You know, if you don't have that level of emotional expression. Alright. So, I'm going to go and see how those pies are. Particularly, it's going to reflect bad on you or make you feel a particular way. It's like, oh, fuck it. I thought I'd have a couple of pies. I'll put these in the oven. That burns. Wonder knife. Oh, it should be alright. There we go. Skin's tender. But yeah, that can be a real positive and negative reflection on how you feel too. Particularly these days. Oh, that really stings. Ow. Just came out quite well. Pretty good. No complaints. These came out really, really well. I'm surprised. Yeah, curry chicken. Better done in the oven. If you're going to do a pie, or if you're going to make a pie, sorry, not even make a pie, for that matter. Even if you're going to make a pie, right? Even if you're going to make a pie, best thing you can do is make sure that you cook it in the oven. Like, that's my essential thing. If you're going to cook a pie, cook it in the oven, because at least it's done properly. That's the thing I find. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't mind doing some stuff in the microwave. That's okay. You know, but seriously, sometimes there's been some situations in my life. Oh, that hurts, Jesus. Where, like, foods always taste better when it comes out of the oven or something like that. Has a better flavour, it's cooked better. And it generally tastes better. Cooked better, tastes better, so both things. And that's the thing, most people don't realise. Food will tend to taste better when it's prepared properly. It's always been something for me. It's always been a thing for me, especially. Hence the reason sometimes I eat out. because I like the preparation that's been put into the food in the first place. That's one part of it, anyway. So yeah. That hurts. I need a glass of wine or something. I got no wine. Unfortunately, I'm out. I have to pick up some. No, probably. I'll actually pick up some. What's the name of the stuff? This is apple cider that I tried, which was quite nice. Oh man, that really fucking stings. So bad. Oh, ow. Jesus. Fuck. Oh, man. Damn it. It's funny though, you know, sometimes I'll cut myself and I won't even notice. Like, you know, I'll be working on a computer or something and I'll run my hand across something and I'll cut it. Other times, something like this burn, for example, I'll be sitting there, it's like fucking half an hour trying to get rid of the fucking pain, you know? Alright, back. My window anyway. It's getting a bit cold. Wow. It's starting to get cold anyway. But yeah, no, pies do definitely come out better in the oven. It tastes better too. That's the thing, I've got this. It's going to hurt for a while. Eventually it'll go away. Or it'll start to stop, it'll hurt less. Probably shouldn't be putting... See, they say that the worst thing you can do with these burns... The worst thing you can do with a burn is... the worst thing that you can do in most cases with a burn is apply cold stuff to it. I don't think I have any. So I'm looking for this first aid kit in this. Septic. There's a tea tree oil thing, but I don't know whether that'll actually. Really focused on this pain, I shouldn't be. Though, I mean, these pies, I mean, if I waste them, well, I don't think I'm going to waste them anyway, but I already spice them. No, I don't have anything for a burn. I did have some burn ointment, but I should probably get some of that, actually. Oh, Yeah, I think this works on vent. It says burns. But actually, I need to get some more of this. It's a Sablon's antiseptic cream. Do supply a little. I don't know. I'll apply some of that anyway. Oh, let's go. Oh man! Ow, 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 ow. Wowzers! Oh. Is that better? Yeah. So I'll apply some of this, but this works for sunburns and stuff like that, it says anyway, so I mean, it should be okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get a bit of cream on that fish, but it's not an open packet anyway, so it's fine. All good. Fly me to the moon. Oh, but yet I long for you in Jupiter and Mars. Eventually it'll stop singing. It's just annoying at the moment, it's just the first time it's done anything, so gotta expect it to sting for a bit. Gotta expect it to do that occasionally, it's just gonna happen. Bow, 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 and I did not feel the deputy. Did not feel the deputy, apparently. Oh, fuck. That is absolutely annoying. Lesson learned. Be careful when handling hot things. Not that I'm not careful anyway, but occasionally I just... Show off the sheriff. You know what I need to do? I need to pee. I'll be right back. Right. It's alright, I want to put some of the rest of this stuff back in here. It does say burns, so I don't think it's not going to work anyway. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Always have the first aid kit on hand, just in case of injuries. It's just smart. It's just generally a clever and smart idea to have a first aid kit. I keep one under my bed. Well, I mean, sometimes I keep it in the cupboard, just depending. But yeah, I've got a first aid kit, so yeah. Right. I'm less worried about things. I don't know. Like as I said, I was worried for a little while because of this troll thing. It did cause me a couple of anxiety issues, but I talked to them anyway, mental health, and I worked things out. So. Pretty reasonable guy most of the time, though. You know, I mean, that's the thing. I'm pretty reasonable about how I handle things, and I'm pretty reasonable where my frame of mind is when it comes to most stuff in my life. I wouldn't say I'm unreasonable, and I wouldn't say that I don't, you know... I've been known to take trolling a little too far sometimes, but it's not as if I'm constantly doing it. And what I did that night was, yeah, it was my own stupid fault. I'm well aware of that. I'm not gonna... You know what, I'm gonna say that it knocked me back to reality a bit on myself and just what I should watch and what I shouldn't do, you know. Things like that. So, yeah. Being your own self, I guess. Son of a kitchen utensil. Alright, okay. But yeah, that's just my whole concern about things anyway. It's life, really, unfortunately. Fix it. Wipe the cream off it first. See, this is my point. I'm focused on this right now, and this is what's in front of me. As I said, sometimes there's times where I get this intense focus on whatever I may be doing or whatever I may be engaging in. You know what I mean? And I like the intense focus, but sometimes it can be a bit frustrating. Pulse rate is pretty good at the moment, actually, so it's not considering. I don't know. I don't know whether I feel like the rest of this, to be honest. I might. Oh, it really hurts. It'd be nice if this pain would go away. That'd be good, though. So yeah, all good. I might put the rest of this in the fridge. I don't know. Yowie power. Yowie power. Oops. something. Alright. Oops. Put that in there. There we go. Sorry, I have run out. I've run out of some vape oils too, so I need to get some more vape oils on it. Yeah, feeling pretty relaxed, which is amazing. Really, that stings. Stings a hell of a lot, to be honest. Yeah, no, like I said, it's crazy these days, particularly. Ah, that really hurts. What the hell? Cunty McCunterson, apparently. I might stop my stream on Facebook anyway for now. There we go. I'll just stop it on Facebook. Because I'm sort of using it, but not really using it, Ah, shit, that hurts. Sorry, this is shit. Alright, okay. What I was doing. What was I doing anyway? Oh, that's right, I was going to play. Let's go there. That's good. Ah. Ow. There we go. Alright. See here. What I might do is put it on. Oh, ow, 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 ow. Jesus, that hurts. Cunty McCunterson. Cunty McCunterson. Cunt me. It's not the way it used to be. Such a cunting catastrophe. I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. There they are, steering in a row. Big ones, small ones, one's as big as your head. I do like GTA though as a game. I do think it'd be interesting to see what they end up releasing later. You know what I mean? At this point, so should be interesting to see exactly what they release later. Anyway, it's my personal preference more. A head all full of stuff. I don't know. I might take a break for a while anyway. I'll talk to you a little bit later on. Hope everybody has a good evening. I'm going to go and relax. So I might go and relax for a little bit. I'll talk to you all in a little while anyway. If I get back on, I'll see how I feel.